that jingle jangle jingle as I go riding merrily along. And they sing, oh, ain't you glad you're single? And that song ain't so very far from wrong. Oh, Bessie Lou, oh, Bessie Lou, though it done a heap of dreaming, this is why it won't come true. I got spurs that jingle jangle jingle as I go riding merrily along. And they sing, oh, ain't you glad you're single? And that song ain't so very far from wrong.
'Cause I got spurs that jingle jangle. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Freedom Honey Podcast as we continue our descent into cult like status. Well, it's been another crazy week, and with that, I drank through these, so no beer this week. I think I'm going to start cutting down this summer. My wife did buy me raspberry lemonade ginger ale. Let's give this a shot. Let's try this thing. Oh, that's fantastic. Maybe I'll put booze in it later. Yeah, that's good. All right, been a crazy week. I hope you guys had get ready for this big Canada Day weekend. Hope you got plans. Get out there, get some sunshine, get some exercise, and be patriotic. We need more of that, I feel. If everybody is new to the show, hi, I'm Mike. This is our time for us to get together, to hang out, talk about the good, talk about the bad, talk about the bullshit of the week as we navigate this insanity together. All right, we're going to start this week with the Oilers lost. Shockers. I'm still convinced that this is all rigged, by the way. I mean, Canada hasn't won the cup in like decades. I mean, it was tight going into that. We were looking hot. It was looking really good, but just couldn't clench that W. I'm sure Florida was a big party after. And of course, I don't really watch sports. I think it's personally, I think it's a waste of time. But hey, if you're a sports bro, you're a sports bro. Just let's show some civility. Because after the game, this is from YG Wave. Lineup of the Moss Pit has been cleared by EPS. People began throwing garbage and pulling out metal poles out of the concrete. Way to keep it classy, Edmonton. Look at all the crap on the floor, too. Like, guys, I don't know what it is with sports bros. I mean, I don't know if it's the booze. I don't know if it's the excitement, but they just feel like they could just destroy everything after. Look what happened in Vancouver. I mean, I still think that was all Antifa, but anyway. Good job on keeping up the suck. Let's just say that. All right. And of course, we had the debate from hell. This was Joe Biden, Donald Trump, and probably one of the saddest display of elder abuse I have ever seen. I mean, if you guys watched it, I definitely say watch it. Trump did great, but I mean, when you're going up against a corpse, anything was better than Joe Biden's performance. He looked tired. I mean, I was shocked. I thought they would have him on Adderall and like adrenaline shots and do everything. That's why I kind of agree with Tim Pool on this one. I think it was planned. I think like the story goes is that he doesn't want to get replaced, and like Jill Biden's like a sociopath too, and she wants the title of first lady, and like they're both totally committed into going 4 years. I mean, his family's getting rich off this. Jill's getting her title. It's just sad. Like he's mentally not there, and I mean, he looked like a corpse. His face was. He looked like that painting, The Scream, where his face is all droopy and stuff. I mean, the side by side was ridiculous. A couple of hot takes from that though. This was definitely the funniest part of the night. I'll watch it.
And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we can do with more border patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
Yeah, it was pretty much an hour and a half of gobbledygook coming out of Joe Biden and Trump just taking the opportunity to pounce on it. And I mean, the Democrats are in total panic mode, and I truly think that Gavin Newsom is going to be the replacement. Not going to be Michelle Obama, because probably a man, and that's not going to work out. Gretchen Whitmer, I mean, she's doing, I mean, that whole fake kidnapping thing. I mean, she's not worth it. I think it's going to be Gavin. So now we'll have more of a lizard person. running. The ultimate winner, though, of the debate was Alex Jones, 100% with this wicked viral clip.
We're here giving commentary.
The impact
We're like,
of,
move, bitch. Get out the way. Get out the way, bitch. Move out the way. Move, bitch. Get out the way. Get out the way, bitch. Get out the way.
when we did the first major piece
We don't
of
want your World War
legislation
III.
passed,
We don't want your triple the prices. We don't want your New World Order. We don't want your drag queen story time. We don't want your world government. We don't want the military wearing red high heels. We reject it all. Move, bitch. Get out the way. Get out the way, bitch. Move out the way.
At this point, I will 100% endorse Alex Jones as Donald Trump's running mate, just because the calamity that would be the White House would be beyond epic. But yeah, the debate from hell. I mean, it's just going to be the next. I mean, they got what, like 4 months to the election happening. This is going to be insane, and them trying to get rid of this guy that obviously doesn't want to leave. But yeah. Julian Assange set free this week. That was huge. Big fan, whole WikiLeaks thing. Anyway, following a plea deal with the United States, he managed to get his way out of Belmarsh prison. He's back in Australia. Good for that. And a big shout out to everyone who's been just advocating for him for years. And this is a big win on the whole freedom front. So good on everyone. All right. And and when you thought eating sausage couldn't be any gayer, I saw this tweet pop up. This is from Loblaws. If you're one of the Loblaws boycott people, I mean, yeah, I'm kind of getting on your side right now because this is some next level shit. I mean, not even this is disgusting. You guys sit there eat multicolored sausage. I mean, and then say you made this at a family bar, you got to feed this to kids. Very unappealing. But you couldn't make sausage eating the act of eating sausage any gayer, and they did it. And on the pride front, I mean, this was a tweet from Jack, friend of the show. Breaking, I told you this would happen. I called it. Pride is no longer about being gay or lesbian. It is radicalized protest, and the unions and NDP are behind it. And we know on this show how much I love unions. Completely hijacked. They did so that the Queers for Palestine wouldn't shut down the pride parades. We have invited the Palestinian Action YYT to lead this year's pride parade, so we remain dedicated to using the festival platform to amplify and support voices of marginalized community. And that was from the statement from the St. John's Pride about this. So they're going to have the pro-Palestinian cunts lead the parade. See, this is the activism. This isn't about being gay anymore. Back in the day when you had, gay rights and everything was, just for the basic things. And then everything changed. I think the big change happened was within the States. Legalized gay marriage, 100%. I think that was the fall of the pride movement. And I mean, because nowadays everyone's cool with it. Yeah, you want to get married? Absolutely, it's fine. I mean, you got some religious ones that are like, yeah, technically marriages in the Bible is between a man and a woman, and you could make that point in that argument. Civil, I mean, what is it called? A civil partnership or whatever it's called. Everyone's cool with it. But the problem is that there were millions and millions and millions of dollars into the whole into that movement, and then once it happened, they needed something else. So then they just pushed the envelope, and then you got the trans rights, and then you got all the other alphabet letters, and then you got all the weird man-bless stuff with pedos and stuff getting in there now. And now you've got an like the alliance of the Palestinians with the Pride movement. This is just a leftist cult. Now, and I feel really bad for, like, I would guess you would call it the OG gay people, the people that, with the 70s or 80s were like, yeah, we were marginalized and we were frowned upon in society and everything like that. And then, like, and they didn't want any of this stuff, any of the weird shit, any of the political stuff. They just wanted to be, hey, like, we're here, we're queer. We'll do a parade one day a year and have your moment in the sun, not pride season, and be good to go. But no, ruined everything. And like this is turning into the final nail in the coffin, and people are sick of it. They're tired of it. It was fine when it was 1 day, 1 week. He was pushing it. Now it's a whole fucking season, and it's just it's the amount of bullshit. And I mean, I can't wait till July happens, because then all of a sudden corporates the corporation's kind of just done. Good. We did it. We're done. Move on. But now with the whole season thing, I mean, the last throughout the summer. Anyway. All right. The van that caused basically an international incident, I would say. This raspberry lemonade ginger ale stuff is fucking awesome. I highly recommend it. Okay, City News Toronto. The Toronto Police Hate Crime Unit is reviewing video of an advertising van spotted in Toronto that members of the Muslim community say is spreading dangerous Islamophobia. Okay, we're going to break this down. So this LED van was cruising around Toronto. Basically, it said, is this Iraq? Is this Yemen? Is this a bunch of Muslim countries and stuff like that? No, this is Canada. I mean, which is great messaging. I mean, look what's happening in Europe right now. You've got all the countries are being taken over. I mean, London looks like downtown Mumbai. You've got France is turning into Islamabad. And, I don't want you to quit blocking the roads to pray in the street to say over here, you got churches, you got mosques. Do your thing. Quit, putting that shit on the rest of us. But anyway, this caused crazy. There's like, oh, this is a hate crime and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, I mean, it was Rebel News' van. And everybody knows that right now. I had actually messaged friend of the show, Sheila, and I was like, is this your guys' van? And she's like, yep. So they had bought the van basically because they had been renting a bunch of them to do a bunch of their campaigns around Toronto. And I mean, it's quite expensive. So they said, you know what, we'll buy a van and, it's a couple $100,000 or something like that. Plus, like, there's a very intensive maintenance package. Like, there's like a generator in there to just power the lights and the screens. Plus, you got to get, maintenance on the pixels and stuff like that. Like, there's a fair bit of part of the maintenance package to owning one of these vehicles. So to offset the cost, they said, okay, well, we'll just rent it out to, like-minded organizations and make a few bucks to offset the cost. And I think it was one of the Jewish movements for Toronto or something like that basically rented it out and just drove it around, and it caused a big stink. And then there was this weird bounty. So this is from Mohammed Fakim. Up to $25,000 reward. It has been 2 days since the clear incitement of hate that occurred. Yeah, but the Palestinian protesters walking through the street calling for the killings of Jews, or shooting the schools, or firebombing the delicatessens, or anything like that. Clearly, that's not incitement. Today, I'm offering a reward up to $25,000 for information that leads to the arrest of the individuals who paid for, designed, or in any way facilitated this hateful campaign. Please call Toronto Police as soon as possible. Yes, but it would all, because the Toronto Police need this, not the normal things like all the murders and crime and everything that's making downtown Toronto a shithole that it is. Also at the same time, sorry we were late with this week's episode of the greatest podcast on the planet. Sadly, Pedro was too busy driving around and spreading love in the cab of an LED cube truck. Where's my $25,000 is all I'm saying. It was 100% Pedro. We flew him out to Toronto. We rented the van, and there's your photographic proof. Good stuff. All right, now it's everybody's favorite segment, the Freedom Honey Douche of the Week. This week goes to Minister Harjit Sajjar and his strong family ties to the World Sikh Organization. We'll get into this. So big news dropped from the Globe and Mail this week was that Sajjar instructed troops to rescue Afghan Sikhs during the fall of Kabul, basically leaving a bunch of Canadians and a bunch of interpreters that helped us throughout our campaign that we had promised that after we would bring them back to Canada. No, we left them to die to go get a bunch of Sikhs that I forget, it was like 200 or something like that, and take military assets for that. Literally hours before the complete fall of the country. So, of course, everybody knows Harjit Sajjar, the former Minister of Defense, also stolen valor, and I'm putting it out there, for him claiming to be the architect of Operation Medusa as a reservist, which didn't make any sense back then. Anyway, he was very well scolded from the military community for this. But anyway, this dropped like an atomic bomb. Of course, he went out and said, "Oh, yeah, no, it wasn't the way you see it, and the only reason I'm getting attacked right now is because of the turban on my head." Because of course he had to play the racism game because he's fucked. Also, I did put a bet out there on social media. I will put $1,000 up that he is on the list of traitors whenever that list becomes public. I will put $1,000 if anybody's willing to take it. I'm convinced I'm 99% right. So, but I will happily take your cash. Anyway, just the cringy kind of explanation of him saying it. Plus, I mean, he's got a weird. There was a shout out to Mocha Bezergan. He was doing this chart showing his ties to the World Secret Organization, and like the mayor of Edmonton's involved and stuff like this. Like, this is the organization that's getting these people elected into positions of power. Is this World Secret Organization? They got a lot of people. They got a lot of money. They got a lot of support, and they're all connected as families or cousins and stuff like that. So I highly take a moment, go to Mocha Bezergan, his Twitter X page, and check this out. This stuff is hot. It's really interesting as he ties everything together. Doing beautiful work out there. Absolutely beautiful work. So for lying about being the architect of Operation Medusa, for literally putting Canadians, leaving them to die because you had other priorities. Apparently this was it. As well as, I mean, I do want to do a big shout out. When the fall of Kabul was happening, I will never forget on Facebook seeing guys that are relatively quiet dudes, not very vocal and stuff like that. And they were on social medias begging to get people that helped us out of that country. I remember watching a friend of mine, Steve Sweet, watching his post trying to get this one guy and his family out, and seeing like the terrible messages he was getting. It's like, we're hiding in the house. They're trying to hunt us down like dogs. They're outside doing sweeps. They're interviewing the neighbors to find out who helped and stuff like that. And they were trying to do everything to get them out. Also, a big shout out to Dave Morrow, one of the other V4F TV contributors on the Hard to Kill podcast. He was advocating for this stuff pretty big too, and go check out his page. I think he's got a couple of videos on it. But yeah, for this crap, Harjit Sajan with Sajan, yeah, that's it. You are this week's Freedom Honey douche of the week. That's Mike approved, Pedro approved, Beaver County approved, and we'll go from there. Okay, what else? Canada can't meet goal of 100% EV sales by 2035. Automakers say. In another news, water is wet. It's expected consumers will switch to EVs if they are more affordable, meet their range needs, and there's sufficient charging infrastructure. But those conditions haven't been met. I don't think those conditions will ever be met. Maybe in like 20, 30 years, but not with this ridiculous. I mean, the thing is the governments keep putting these stupid numbers. Oh, by 2030, we'll do this. And by 2025, we'll do this. I mean, none of it works out. It's arbitrary numbers that don't mean shit. So, and besides, they're gonna lose the next election anyway, and this is gonna go out the window. So it's just a waste of time. All right. Meanwhile, a deadly flesh-eating bacteria is currently spreading in Japan. Why not? Let's turn it up a notch and getting a little more spicy. All right. Japan is seeing record-breaking rise of flesh-eating bacteria that can kill people within 48 hours. So it's one of the good ones, I guess, prompting a closer look to the deadly disease. Cases of streptococcal toxic shock syndrome, STSS. Got a kind of a sexy name to it, in Japan has reached 1,019 cases as of June 9th, more than a total of number reported in all of last year. And at the current rate of infections, the case number in Japan could reach 2,500 this year, with a terrifying mortality. They put terrifying in like scare quotes, mortality rate of 30%. Actually, that is pretty scary. Not gonna pronounce this. Ken Kikuchi, yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to pronounce that. Professor of infectious diseases at the Tokyo Women's Medical University told Bloomberg earlier this month. So yeah, if SARS don't get you. If the Palestinian protesters don't get you, there's always a brand new flesh-eating disease out there to take you out. All right, what else? Montreal cancels Canada Day Parade. This is a pretty sad one. So Canada Day Parade will not happen in Montreal this year. A decades-old Canada Day event in Montreal has been canceled when organizers said there's just too much red tape when dealing with the city. Is it that, or is it the city kind of barking back? I mean, we have this whole idea now that Canada Day is evil and the fireworks are colonialism or some junk like that. And I mean, you can have Palestinian hate marches every weekend, and you can have an entire month devoted to Pride. And I mean, the Pride parades are pretty extravagant. Also, Canada Day doesn't really change every year; it's pretty much on a fixed day, so it's you got a big notice. Yeah, it sucks. I just think that this is just one more step closer to erasing our culture and our heritage. And I don't know, whatever the opposite of whitewashing everything is. I don't know, brown washing, I guess. All right. Sad. Toronto News. Oh yes. Mayor Olivia Chow. We're trying out something new. A pilot project to see how goats can help maintain meadows and prairies in Toronto's parks. If successful, it would be an environmentally friendly and affordable way to keep our parks well maintained. Now, actually, this is not a bad idea. I need to get me some goats because I mean, trying to keep nature back right now with all the rain we've been getting has been quite taxing. Except I got a bunch of predators out here that I got to worry about. So I don't know, maybe the big angry demon-looking goats or alpacas. I'll just get some alpacas. But speaking of alpacas, I think my comment to this was, I'm like, you're further ahead of using alpacas, less chance of rapings or getting eaten. If you put a bunch of goats in Toronto with all the migrants living there, I mean, chances are they're going to go missing or eaten by coyotes, as I referred to it. Sweetheart, use alpacas. Yeah, they spit, but they'll eat a lot more grass, and they're feisty. So they may not end up at a halal menu. Let's just say that. All right, water restrictions in Calgary continue. Next week is the Calgary Stampede, so I can see it ending anytime soon. But Quebec City under strict restrictions as major water main breaks. Go figure. Residents caught washing their vehicles or plants. Who's washing plants? Anyway, will receive a notice of residents caught washing their vehicles or plants. Anyway, will receive a notice and face fines of $1,000. And some French guy probably wrote this. And from $1,000 to $2,000. Yeah, so I guess the water restrictions have now hit Quebec City. With all this infrastructure stuff failing, I mean, I'm kind of getting a little worried too. And that's for my neighbors who are on cisterns. I mean, we're on a well here, so I really don't care. Water table is really high right now, so I'm not going to run out of water anytime soon. But this is concerning, especially like friends in Edmonton and stuff like that. Like you guys, I mean, the city's broke, so I'm definitely thinking the water mains aren't getting looked at right now. So somebody should really get on this. Somebody, but not me. All right. What else? Cheers and jeers. Jeers to PEI Workforce Department for handling the PNP workers. So it looks like to get the permanent residents, guys that were protesting, are going to get the big old boot because their visas are going to run out. Some of the foreign workers who've been protesting PNP changes will see their visas run out soon, which means they're going to get the old boot back to India. It is what it is. Also, I mean, they look great for having a freaking hunger strike. I guess didn't last long. I mean, they were all like, we're going to go this to death. Well, you look alive and well, probably enough to get on a plane and get the fuck out of Dodge. But it is what it is. All right, and with that, guys, a little bit of merch time. If you guys want to support everything that we do here at with the V4F TV, Veterans for Freedom, go and buy some merch or join the membership. The membership is a couple of bucks a month. You get to vote where the cash goes. All the information is there. how much money was raised, the different initiatives. I mean, join the club, buy some merch, support the causes, and I mean, it's really, really good stuff. So get on that. Also, you can pick yourself up some sweet Freedom Hungry swag. So enjoy. All right, what else we can talk about? Federal bumbling. Yeah, I screwed that up. Anyway, to blame the WestJet mechanics strike mess. So, in case you haven't heard, WestJet maintenance guys, the mechanics are on strike right now. Their demands aren't actually that bad. They're asking for, I mean, it's at first it was a 22% raise, and I was like, damn. And then I was like, oh, over like 4 years. So I'm like, that's 5% a year. And I mean, with inflation, I mean, it's not that bad. But I hate strikes and I hate unions. I mean, I'm a firm believer in collective bargaining. Our work, for instance, with our new ownership, we're in a very, very small niche trade, and there's I mean, I can probably count on two hands the amount of people in Western Canada that can do what we do. So I mean, we were promised 5% raises, and they gave us 2. Then we just sat down and we're like, "You're giving us 5," and they capitulated instantly because the senior guys, we all kind of teamed up and said, it's either that or we're going to go work for your competitor that's offered us $15 more an hour. And they shut up real quick. So, I mean, that's all you need. I hate strikes. I mean, I got into it with some on Twitter today. There was some teacher. So I felt even less bad. He's like, oh, my trip to Bahamas. I'm like, what kind of teacher's going to Bahamas? I mean, that is a very expensive destination. That's like the Monte Carlo of the Caribbean. I mean, that's like rich island. Oh, I was gonna go to maybe your husband's got money. I don't know. She didn't look that good, so I mean, you can't be that rich. Anyway, they're like, oh, I had my kids there, and I wanted to go to the Bahamas, and I got to the airport, and it was canceled, ruining my vacation. I'm like, you're on vacation for 2 months. I'm like, reschedule. I'm like, this strike's not gonna last long. Reschedule for next week. I'm sure they give you a credit, and if you can afford to go to Bahamas, I'm sorry. I'm sure you'll be fine. So I have very little sympathy. Also, I hate union workers. The whole idea of being extorted to work thing kind of just irks me. I don't like having to pay money for the privileges of working for my employer. Oh, well, we defend you. I mean, if you need defending, you ain't worth shit, quite frankly. Or you're low skilled and you're easily replaceable, so shut the hell up. And like, I mean, yeah, being an airplane mechanic, that's why I don't think the strike's gonna last long. I'm like, you're again small trade, not very many people out there, and lots of competitors that will probably hire you. So if the guy next door is gonna offer you more money, make sure your employer knows that, and just don't be afraid to jump ship. So yeah, I guess that's all I'm gonna cover with that. All right, where are we? Well, let's see. Fuck, I hate unions and teachers. Pedro update. Of course. And here's the picture of Pedro with his cock out. For all you ladies out there. He's doing good. He did add a new decal to his truck. He's got the Hawkthua thing. That video was kind of weird, actually. And I love how like the US right now is breaking it down as apparently some massive psyop. Like this is some CIA thing. For some teacher that was drunk in public and said something absolutely hilarious. But yeah, he's doing good. Pedro's doing real good. The cult is expanding. I have been getting some more DMs with the Hail the Queen Bee, so it's going really good. Also, Facebook memory this week. This whole activism. I mean, back in the day, guys. I mean, I wasn't into this whole activism thing, and it kind of started 4 years ago with yeah, my wife and I going to a protest for a child predator that had been released on bail back into the neighborhood, and he offended. And we started a group of people that were there, and we went after these guys. And from there, we ended up getting doxxed, and that's why we moved out to the country. And then in one of the outbuildings, I found a whole bunch of beekeeping supplies and old hives and stuff like that. And then I messaged Pedro and said, "You want to get into this?" And so it all started 4 years ago. That guy did get locked up and is serving 15 years in prison right now. But I covered that on an earlier show. Maybe one day I'll do a recap. And Yes, with Pedro's truck, of course, we always have to notice he does have the bottle of habanero sauce in the center console at all times. All right, guys. And with that, kind of brings us to the end of the show. They're kind of a status update when it comes to the event that we had in Red Deer. Really good feedback. Everything was great. There are talks right now of doing one in Ontario. I don't have dates. I have no idea what the plan is, but it is probably going to happen. And when we do, we're going to give you more information on that. It was fantastic to see everyone out there. So, yeah. With that, guys, thanks again for everything. Hope you guys have a great Canada Day. Have a great weekend. All hail the Queen Bee. And we're out.
This is why people OD on pills and jump from the Golden Gate Bridge. Anything